So this is the KZ EDX Pro 2. Now I haven't used the OG EDX Pro, so my views will be solely based on how this performed, and honestly, I'm a bit confused as to did we really need this at all. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a good pair and it'll be great for someone's first in-ear monitor. But for the rest of us who already own one or a few, I'm wondering why we need this pair at all. Alright, let me explain. Now, as far as unboxing goes, it comes in KZ's infamous bare bones or eco-friendly packaging, as they call it. So pretty mundane from the outside. Inside the box you get the warranty card, different size silicone ear tips, the oxygen-free copper silver plated cable with 2-pin connectors on one end. Now the version I have comes with an inline microphone with a multifunction control button, and it ends in a 3.5mm stereo jack. And of course you get the KZ EDX Pro 2 in-ear monitors themselves. Now as for the specs, the KZ EDX Pro has a single 10mm dynamic driver in each monitor with an impedance of 24 ohms and a sensitivity of 107 decibels. So while these can sound quite fine on their own, but if you want these to sound as loud and as dynamic as they possibly can, it's best to pair them with a portable DAC. Nothing too fancy or expensive, but just something that can make sure that they sound as best as they can, as loud as they can, and you get what you paid for. And as always, the one that I personally use will be linked in the description below. Alright, let's talk build. Now this is your typical resin shell that's absolutely transparent, letting you take a peek at all the lovely things inside, much like Kanye's current partner. Definitely look that up. There is just one metal piece on the faceplate, and that is all. The fit is snug and ergonomics are also on point without any sort of ear fatigue. And as for the quality of the inline microphone, here is an unedited audio clip recorded directly on this. Have a listen. Alright, so the sound you're hearing right now is being directly recorded using the inline microphone of the KZ EDX Pro 2. So this is the type of quality that you can expect from this microphone. So let me know how it sounds in the comments. Alright, back to the video. Alright, now let's talk about the main criteria, which is the audio quality. Now as you know, any sound that you hear is broadly made up of 3 major frequencies: the highs, the mids, and the lows. The highs, or the treble response, where the really sharp sounding instruments are, the mids, where the vocals are, and the low end, or the bass response. Now without the use of any DAC or amp, the sound is quite balanced. Well, almost, as it does have some mild preference on certain frequencies, and I'll explain them in a bit. Alright, so starting off with the treble response or the high frequencies, they sound quite detailed with a good amount of clarity, but not overly sharp or piercing, so they don't sound harsh. Instruments are distinctly audible in the track and also maintain impressive separation. They have just the right amount of sparkle to them to make them sound quite rich and soothing. Next, we have the mid frequencies, and this is where I have my gripes with this pair. The vocals have a slight push to make them sound bright, and this is primarily from its emphasis on the upper mids. This is good for those who want a more vocal-centric pair like the Tangsu Warner SG. But at higher volumes, the vocals don't always sound the most natural or clean, so ideally moderate volumes work best for this pair. Instruments sound impressive with ample clarity and separation between them, but they sound their cleanest at moderate volumes. And finally, we have the low end or the bass response. Now the bass response on these are a mix of both the mid-bass slam and the sub-low rumble. While mostly offering a punchy mid-bass slam, it does offer a noticeable sub-low rumble depending on the track, and that adds depth to the track that you're listening to. The texture of the bass is average though, and it's not the fastest as well. So good for general music listening, not for specific genres that need that cleaner texture and faster response. Now the soundstage is moderately wide and offers good imaging, so I can see these being used by casual gamers for sure. Alright guys, just to summarize. So as I said at the beginning, this is a good pair for a beginner, someone who's getting their first in-ear monitor. It offers detail, clarity, and a punchy bass response, and is fun for casual listeners. But compared to the likes of the KZ Caster Pro, CCA Trio, this falls short and doesn't sound as mature or dynamic. So if you're planning to get your first in-ear monitor, and that too on a tight budget, you can definitely go for this with ease. For the rest of us, let's wait for what KZ offers next.